Okay, we are live. How's it going, guys? Welcome to China's Red Line. Yes, it is live. I was just checking on my YouTube channel just to see if it really was live or not. It's been over a week since I've done a live stream, so I'm a little bit rusty. So yeah, how's it going, guys? I can see there are a couple of you we've been chatting in the chat already. So let's just get straight into it. We've got quite a long one, quite a lot to cover, I think. Let me just pull up my screen here. There it is. Okay. We should have a big void of empty space and little old me on the side there. So let's play. Alrighty, the first thing I wanted to ask you guys to do, although there's only a couple of us in here at the moment, but hopefully more people will see this stream. I'm pretty sure more people will. It's quite strange. My stream's like live. When it's live, hardly anybody watches it. Hardly anybody's here for the live show. But over the week that it's online, it gets quite a lot of views. So yeah, it's just weird. Maybe I should stop doing live streams and just make videos. But anyway, what I wanted to just quickly ask you guys to do is go and subscribe to this channel. This is Mike, my friend Mike, who used to have his I think it was Mike Stewart was his channel name before, but unfortunately, his channel got deleted by YouTube. And I'm not really going to get into the reasons why, but it was pretty ridiculous. So if you can go on over and subscribe to his new channel, he's posting some videos as well, as you can see. He's got some funny clips from China on there. So go and check it out. And yeah, do me a favor, go and subscribe, okay? Thank you. All right, let's move on because we need to get to the main subject. Yes, I already subscribed to him, by the way. Okay, so the UK has just created a new bill, the Tackling State Threats Bill. It was briefly mentioned in the King's speech last week, where he basically announced this bill. And to me, this sounds like it's a China bill. Now, I'll tell you why in a minute. So, we have the UK's new Tackling State Threats Bill, which is designed to crack down on hostile foreign governments and groups operating here inside the United Kingdom. The government says countries like Russia, obviously, Iran, and China are increasingly using cyber attacks, espionage, intimidation, and covert influence campaigns rather than just their traditional military tactics. It's this new sort of warfare that China's using, and they're very good at it. So, this new bill would give police and intelligence agencies stronger powers to disrupt those activities, including banning certain state backed organizations like China's United Front, for example, and criminalizing support for them. So it's pretty similar to already existing anti terror laws. But yeah, it's something that we've really needed for a long time here in the UK. So a lot of people who support this, and I'm one of them, would say that the UK's old espionage laws were completely out of date and not built for modern threats like this cyber warfare and espionage from China. So, yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. Although some people would say that the powers could be too broad and it could affect our civil liberties, journalism, political activism, that kind of thing. But I think it's really, really necessary. I think that our security is very important. And although, perhaps it could stifle some freedom, which I don't think it will, but I think that it's a really, really good thing and it's much, much, much needed because let's just get to the next bit. Okay, so if you want to read this in your own time, please go ahead. Okay, it's just information about what the bill is for, what the bill does. But okay, so for example, you have a lot of horrible things going on in the UK, particularly from the CCP, from the Chinese Communist Party, harassing, targeting dissidents, transnational repression, all of that stuff. This new bill would completely tackle this, and it would really stop people like these two men who were found guilty of spying for China. So these two men that were based in London, Border Force officer Peter Y and Hong Kong trade official Chung Bio Yuan, were convicted of spying for China and targeting Hong Kong democracy activists here in the UK. Y also illegally accessed Home Office databases, making this arrest of these two and sent to prison the first successful prosecution for spying for China in British history. This is the first. And there have been so many cases, and they've all gotten away with it because we didn't have these laws in place to stop them. So the court heard the pair gathered intelligence on dissidents, including exiled activist Nathan Law, who I've actually spoken with in real life and interviewed, and infiltrated pro-democracy groups as part of a shadow policing operation linked to Hong Kong authorities. Do you remember also there was a third suspect, some former Royal Marine called Matthew Trickett, who also was working on behalf of the CCP, and he died shortly after being charged in 2024. The police say under the circumstances weren't suspicious. That's absolute bullshit. He was found dead in a park, guys. Allegedly, he ended his own existence because the YouTube doesn't let you say that word for some reason. You know what I mean, though, right? So, yeah, the case is obviously significant for Hong Kongers living here in the UK, who many or most of them have fled after Beijing's crackdown on dissent in Hong Kong. Well, what they call dissent, you know. It reinforces fears that critics of the Chinese Communist Party can still be monitored, intimidated, or targeted overseas, even after seeking safety in countries like the UK, which is just embarrassing. UK officials described the operation as a serious threat to national security, while China dismissed the case as politically motivated. Whatever, guys. So these two now have gone to prison, and unfortunately, I couldn't make this, but a bunch of my Hong Kong friends, they met outside the Hong Kong Economic and Trade Office, which is where one of these bozos who was spying for the CCP used to work, and they had a little party outside. So here's some images of the event. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it because I was on holiday. But yeah, there they are celebrating, drinking, gambaying, cheers, giving the cheers to the successful arrest of this guy.
Yeah.
Nice.
China made
Let's just see. Let's see that again. Excuse me. That is so cool. I actually now know quite a lot of these guys, consider them good friends. And we all met just because of the CCP's mega embassy. And yeah, just I'm in contact with most of these guys now. Unfortunately, I did get the invite, but I just couldn't make it. But yeah, it's great to see that they're all celebrating outside the HK ETO, having a good old time celebrating the arrest of this guy. Because to be honest with you, a lot of these guys, they live in fear of the CCP. The CCP constantly targets them and harasses them. So it's great to finally see a little bit of justice. And hopefully this new tackling state threats bill will help them and deter China from God, what is wrong with my throat today? And it will deter China from doing espionage and intimidating and harassing dissidents here in the UK. Hopefully, it will deter them from doing that. So it's good. It's only going to be a good thing for the people from Hong Kong here in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
China
All right. I guess we better talk about it, guys. Ugh. So I'm sure that everybody knows that Trump just did a state visit to China where he met the CCP dictator Xi Jinping. And he got the old like take him around the Forbidden City. We've all seen the footage, we've all seen the clips, we all know exactly what happened. I don't need to get into that too much. What I want to focus on is what Trump says in this interview regarding Taiwan. So let's have a look.
China made clear that Taiwan is very important to them. And after your first meeting here, President Xi's spokesman put out a statement to the media, through the media, saying this: the Taiwan question is the most important issue in China-U.S. relations. If it is handled properly, the bilateral relationship will enjoy overall stability. Otherwise, the two countries will have clashes and even conflicts, putting the entire relationship in great jeopardy.
Yeah, okay then.
You were still inside the meeting when that came out. That sounded almost like a threat. Was it communicated that way behind closed doors?
No.
Yeah, it definitely does sound like a threat.
And no, it wasn't, not at all. But it has always been their most important issue. And it's not a takeover. They just don't want to see this place, we'll call it a place because nobody knows how to define it.
Yes, mate, we will define it as a country because it is a country. Place.
But they don't want to see it go independent. They don't want to do it. And
so they don't want to see Taiwan go independent. Well, I'm sorry, mate, but Taiwan is already independent. What do you mean they don't want to see it go independent? It is independent. Taiwan has its own government, its own military, constitution, elections. The government in Taiwan operates completely separately from the People's Republic of China. In Taiwan, they have this weird concept, right? I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's called electing their own president and legislature through democratic elections. I mean, in China, they've never heard of that, right? Because they have this dictator who's now serving his third term, which in their so-called constitution, if you could call it that, it forbids anybody from serving more than 2 terms, but he changed the rules. Taiwan has its own political system that has nothing to do with China. Taiwan issues its own passports, currency, laws, and visas, and it functions exactly like a sovereign state in everyday reality. It maintains its own economy, international trade relationships, including major global tech companies like the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, which completely operates independently from the government run by the CCP. Absolutely 100% separate. Many countries actually interact with Taiwan separately in practice through trade offices, security cooperation, and diplomatic style relations. Even if formal recognition policies vary because of international politics, they still do business with Taiwan. Okay, so the political status of Taiwan, it's disputed internationally, but in practice, and this is the most important thing, it operates with most characteristics of an independent country. So when this guy Trump says, what did he say? He doesn't want to. They don't want to see this place go independent. Taiwan already is independent. Anyway, sorry about that rant.
I think they probably would do something pretty harsh, and then they would be met harshly, and bad things will happen. So, no, it's not that. We talked. By the way, last night we talked the whole night about that issue. I think I know more about Taiwan right now than I know about almost any country other than
he knows more about Taiwan, but he doesn't know that it's an independent sovereign state.
Dominated the talk.
It's always been his most important thing from the day I knew him years ago. I've known him now 11 years, 12 years. It's always been the biggest thing for him, Taiwan. Now, with me, I don't think they'll do anything when I'm here. When I'm not here, I think they might, to be honest with you.
So we've
He always, this guy, man, he always has that, like, yeah, because I'm the big man and they wouldn't dare mess with me. But if I'm not here, then, God. So how come, like, China didn't invade Taiwan when Biden was in power then? I'm just saying, you know, I don't particularly like either of them, Trump, Biden, whatever, you know, but I'm just saying, like, whatever, dude.
I'm not sure that they do anything if it remained as is. But they have somebody there now that wants to go independent. Well, it's a risky thing when you go independent. You know, they're going independent because they want to get into a war and they figure they have the United States behind them. I'd like to see it stay the way it is. And I'll tell you something. I'll make a little news. I'd like to see everybody making chips over in Taiwan come into America because, to be honest with you, I think it's the greatest thing you can do.
No, that's honestly, that is not the greatest thing they can do. That's probably the one thing that Taiwan has that would make America come to their aid is the fact that they have that chips industry. So, yeah. Anyway,
The last thing we need right now is a war. That's 9,500 miles away. I think that's the last thing we need. We're doing very well.
Would the US defend Taiwan if it came to
I
it?
don't want to say. I'm not going to say that. There's only one person that knows that. You know who it is? Me.
this completely messes with China's head, doesn't it? You know, because he's not saying if he will or he won't. You know, this whole like wishy-washy, will he or won't he, really would deter China, I think. So it's probably a good thing, you know, because they just don't know. If he 100% commits right here and says that they will, then I don't know if China would believe that. But just the whole idea that it's a possibility that he will or won't, they just don't know. It's actually quite amusing.
I'm the only person. That question was asked to me today by President Xi. I said, I don't talk about those
He
things.
asked you today.
He asked you if you would send troops, if you would.
I love it how he calls him President Xi as well. Like, that guy is not a president, okay? He's a dictator. He wasn't elected by the people. He's a dictator.
He asked me if I defend them. I said, I don't talk about that.
So yeah, anyway, Taiwan obviously has responded to Trump. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Taiwan put out a post, and I'm just going to read it to you now. So it's the Ministry of Foreign Affairs response to US President Trump's comments to the media following the Trump-Xi summit, dated 2026, May the 16th. Okay, so here's what they said. We note that the United States has repeatedly stressed that its long-standing policy toward Taiwan remains unchanged. This position has been reaffirmed by President Donald Trump. Our position is clear. Taiwan will continue to contribute to regional peace and stability. We are determined to maintain the status quo across the Taiwan Strait. This has consistently been the stance of President Lai Ching-te and the firm commitment of the 23 million people of Taiwan. It is self-evident that the Republic of China, Taiwan, is a sovereign democratic country. Beijing has no right to claim jurisdiction over Taiwan. The government of Taiwan will continue to deepen cooperation with the United States, maintain peace through strength, and ensure that security and stability of the Taiwan Strait are not threatened or undermined. This serves the shared interests of Taiwan, the United States, and democracies across the world. China's military threat remains the primary source of regional instability, driving countries in the first island chain to strengthen their defense capabilities in coordination with the United States. US arms sales to Taiwan are both part of US security commitments under the Taiwan Relations Act and a key element of collective deterrence against regional threats. We are grateful for President Trump's continued support for cross-strait security since his first term, including announcements of weapons sales that have reached record highs. Taiwan-US cooperation has always been demonstrated through concrete actions, and we look forward to the United States continuing to fulfill its commitments under the Taiwan Relations Act. Taiwan will further work with the United States and other democratic partners worldwide to address the risks that authoritarian regimes pose to geopolitical security and global order and stability. So they are independent, is what I get from that. And that would really piss off China as well. And yeah, the Taiwan Relations Act, the US can freely sell weapons to Taiwan, and there isn't a goddamn thing China can do about it. It's just a shame that Taiwan's defense budget got halved because of the KMT, the Kuomintang. It was supposed to be like $40 billion, I think, the defense budget to deter China. But I think they're going to spend like 26 million now. Billion, not million. So, yeah, that kind of sucks. Never mind. Anyway, I just thought it would be interesting for you guys to hear what Taiwan had to say about it. And obviously, President Trump's trip to China, you can't really criticize that because I think every world leader has been over there right now to kiss the ass of dictator Xi Jinping, right? I think Xi Jinping probably loves that. But what he doesn't love is that most countries actually have a relationship with Taiwan, whether it's formal or informal. A lot of countries, they do have a relationship with Taiwan, and Taiwan is definitely a very important country, especially because of the semiconductor manufacturing base. So I think that a lot of countries, although they go to kiss China's ass, they're secretly best buddies with Taiwan. And that pisses China off. Anyway, let's move on. We've got a few more things to look at. Okay, yay. More Chinese airports misbehaving. Oh, he wasn't happy. All right, let's just take that back. Okay, I just want to get to the part where he kicks it. Boom. Okay, so dearie me. So this happened in Thailand. The immigration authorities in Thailand have revoked the visa of this tourist and imposed a lifetime ban on him after he damaged this automated passport control gate, and he actually verbally abused a bunch of immigration officers at, I don't know how to pronounce this, Suvarnabhumi Airport in Thailand. So it happened on the 13th of May at the airport's outbound immigration area, and the man was repeatedly failing to follow the instructions on this automated gate, and he got very, very angry when the system was not responding. I've experienced this. These things are fucking annoying. We have a lot of them in the UK at border control where you scan your passport and it lets you through, and it takes forever for them to work. However, even though they pissed me off, I did not kick it and try and break it. And he actually kicked the glass gate twice and forced his way through the checkpoint without completing immigration clearance. This is a massive no-no at an airport. You just do not do this. So the guy has been detained, obviously. He's continued to shout abuse at the officers. And you have this scene where his girlfriend is trying to calm him down. He was being restrained by the security personnel. So he's been charged with property damage. Photos here. So he's been charged with property damage and insulting the officers there while they were performing their duties. And the damaged gate apparently is going to cost an estimated 450,000 baht in losses at that airport. So the guy's visa has been, there he is there. His visa has been revoked and his details added to the immigration blacklist as a person deemed as a threat to society. He's going to get deported after legal proceedings conclude, and I think he's going to be permanently banned from re-entering Thailand, which is obviously a good thing. But yeah, there he is there, man. Look, I kind of feel sorry for him, but at the same time, at an airport, you just don't do that, man, all right? I'm sorry, but you just do not kick the gate at an airport. If the machine, even if you're late for your flight, that's your problem anyway, probably. If you're late for the flight, if it's their fault, then they can reimburse the ticket, that kind of thing. So there's no excuse for doing that, really. You know, if you're having some problems with the machine, just call on over the people who are there to help, and they'll give you some assistance. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. But yeah, anyway, whatever. Then we have another incident, this time at Kuala Lumpur Airport in Malaysia. There was a woman, she was snuck into the departure hall without a ticket. And this happened on May the 16th. She didn't have enough money to purchase a ticket, apparently, and she refused to cooperate when they caught her, and she just went all hysterical and yes. Let's have a look.
Papa tengok. Papa tengok tu. Pergi nak pergi juga ke?
Cooling on the floor.
Ayo, cantik sekali.
Airport without a ticket then. Not a good idea. You know, I think last stream we spoke about some other hilarious incidents happening at airports involving tourists from China, right?
Sepatutnya diorang kena bagi penasihat satu.
Remember that lady? I am China. 我是中国. 我是 China. Whatever she said. That was, that was a huge thing. So yeah. Anyway, I just thought it was funny to show you those clips and just to show you that it just happens at more airports than we know about. All right, guys. So in China, we have had a ghost rider sighting. I'm not even kidding. All right, we need to watch that again. Jesus Christ, man. certainly looks like a factory explosion. Something that we keep seeing all the time, but yeah. Just wanted to show you that because it was funny, man. You know, Ghost Rider. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that Nicolas Cage movie from back in the day, but yeah, when I saw that clip, that was the first thing that I thought of was, shit, man, Ghost Rider is in China? Okay, so now let's just look at one more clip. Okay, so here is a weird nationalist from China. She's saying, yesterday I said I couldn't forgive Japan on behalf of our ancestors. Then someone said they could forgive. My question is, what gives you the right to forgive on behalf of our ancestors? So what she's being very confrontational here. She's saying that she cannot speak for the victims, but you also don't have the authority to decide forgiveness for people who actually suffered. She's talking about during the Japanese invasion of China. This is usually said by nationalists in China about wartime history, especially related to the Second Sino-Japanese War. They just, for some reason, they just can't get over it. And I get it to some degree, right? That Japan did commit some heinous acts in the Second World War. It's well documented and we know about it. We know what they did, and it was bloody awful. Very similar to Germany in the Second World War, what they did to the Jewish people. It was disgusting, right? But at the same time, you know, I do not blame the present day Germany for those acts that they did, their country did in 1939 to 1945. And I don't understand why China still considers present day Japan the people who did that to their people. It was, you know, you could honestly, I would argue nowadays that China is more like the Imperial Japan of the Second World War than Japan is now. Okay, they definitely are. The way that they're sort of salami slicing up that land close to India, right? You know, the way that they're doing this whole neo-colonialism of Africa, the way that they conquered Tibet, the way that they, you know, like conquered East Turkestan and forced the Uyghurs to go into concentration camps. Well, yeah, let's just call them concentration camps. They're re-education centers. Yeah, they're eradicating their culture. That is a concentration camp, right? And you know, the way that they're sort of like trying to claim all of the South China Sea, that is like Imperial Japan of the Second World War. Okay, so when they're crying and putting out these really crazy nationalist posts like this, it is just very disturbing to see, actually.
昨天我说没法提前被原谅，结果有人说他能原谅，请问你有啥资格提前被原谅？
Yes, exactly. Let's throw up on the communist logo because it's done no good. It really has done no good. You know, people say that the CCP lifted the Chinese people out of poverty. Did it fuck? Okay. The fact of the matter is, China is still a very poor country, and there's a huge divide between the rich and the poor. And the CCP didn't do anything to lift these people out of poverty. It was the industrious people of China who lifted themselves out of poverty. Okay. Do you think the CCP were the ones that did that anyway? Even though they didn't, even though it didn't even happen. But you know, like, look at Taiwan. Taiwan is a great example of how China could be if, you know, if the CCP didn't exist. But instead, you've got these stupid nationalists like this blaming Japan. They're still blaming Japan. Get over it, guys. Get over it, you know, like seriously. Anyway, guys, that is all I wanted to talk about today. Now I will check the chat. Let me just hide that. Hey, how's it going, guys? Good to be here. Did you miss me last week? Let me just move this screen over here so I can see the chat properly. Yeah, it was good to have a little time off last week, but I'm going to get back into it now. We're going to be streaming every week again, every Monday. It's good to be back. I hope you guys are good. So let's see what we got. Yay, 15 are watching. I mean, God, it's not too bad, you know. Could be worse. Could be worse. Yes, exactly. The red 5-star flag is actually Soviet flag, communist. Definitely not Chinese, not created by the Chinese. Communism is a Western invention. And, you know, every time I see a post on Instagram, what did they say? It's like, yeah. So I keep looking at Instagram, and on the posts, there's like news about China, right? And because I've clicked on one, it just keeps like showing me the same thing over and over again. And it's like China has banned OnlyFans because they call it a corrupt Western disease. So I post the only corrupt Western disease in China is something called communism. I always write that on those posts because I am getting sick of seeing it. Let's see. No video today. No video. No. I was on holiday last week. I did not have time to I didn't have time to record a video because I was too busy having fun on holiday. So yeah, no video. I'm gonna be filming one this week. And yeah, I got a new camera. Let me show you guys. Where is it? I'll be back in a sec. You got myself a new camera. This is partly funded by some of you guys. Well, maybe not you guys, but, you know, we've got some patrons, channel members, that kind of thing. So, yeah. I got a new camera. This baby. Oh, yes. I am really pleased with this. Check it out. It's a Nikon, however you want to pronounce it, ZR. It's state of the art. It's even got the screen that flips around. Obviously, I've got a lens for it. Where's my lens? Let me show you. I'm just so happy with this, you know. Although I might not use it, I'm still going to use my action camera to record some interviews and stuff. But this one will be used to get some really good like footage, some really good B-roll. Yeah, so we got a. This is the lens that came with it. It's not the best. I'm going to buy some more. I do have some other lenses, but they don't fit this particular camera, so I have to buy an adapter at some point. But yeah, this is the lens that came with it anyway. But yeah, there it is. Look, check this out. So happy with this. Did some test footage with it the other day, and it's great. Yes, look at that. Perfecto. Can't wait to use it next. I think I'm going out on either tomorrow or the day after. I can't remember. But yeah. Oh, yeah. There it is, guys. This camera is very new as well, like came out last year some point. But yeah, finally got a decent camera. Finally, a decent camera, man. I'm just going to pop it down here. All right. Let's see. Haven't seen you in a while, Lewis. What happened to the Free China channel? Oh yeah, mate. The Free China channel It's now called Team Taiwan UK. The channel's still there, dude. Nothing's happened to it, just the name change. So this is my live stream channel. This is I only do live streams here now. I gave up doing live streams on the other channel because I wanted to just post videos on there. It's better to do that, I think. The live streams and the videos kind of sort of it gave like a how to say it. I guess kind of like viewer expectations were mixed on that channel. People would want live streams and people would want videos, but they didn't want both. So it's good to separate it and have it here. Yeah, if that makes sense. Let's see. You'd probably have more than 100 if you left this live. Oh, yeah, for sure. I think so too. On it did get okay views on when I used to do it on the Free China channel, but I kind of prefer this really. And eventually this one will be monetized and I can get the benefits from that as well. It just what happened on my other channel was every time I did a live stream, people got confused and they would unsubscribe because they just thought, well, this is a live stream channel. I didn't subscribe to this. So, this way it just separates the two. People come here for a live stream. People go to the other channel to watch videos. I wish you guys could see my new shelves. Really? It was hard. Reinvesting into the channel. Exactly, mate. I spend any money that I make from the channel always goes back into it. So, yeah. Nice. Yeah, I just said that. That's cool. Yeah, the lenses do cost a lot of money, man. Unfortunately, the camera wasn't cheap either. But yeah, whatever, man. I just wanted a new camera. I didn't need it particularly. I just wanted it. It's good to treat yourself every once in a while. Yes, I got it. Yeah, it's not great, but it's all right. I'm always afraid of getting mugged when I use my proper camera. Yeah, I mean, there's always that, isn't there? But I think I should be fine. So the camera can take video. Dude, this is it's a cinema camera. So that camera takes very nice video. Yeah, mate, it's mirrorless. This one is not heavy. It's not very heavy. I was saying my shelf project distracted me last week, so I thought I'd miss your live stream. Glad we took the same day off. Yeah, man. It's a coincidence, isn't it? Mike's new account. Yeah, look, I actually spoke about Mike's new account on my stream. There it is. There's Mike's new account. I asked people go and subscribe to him because yeah, he wants some subscribers and he's also posting videos. So, if you guys support me, I think you should head on over and support Mike as well. He can't make it tonight as well because apparently he's at his in-laws. So, yeah, but he'll watch this video back, I'm sure. In Deep Geek, who talks about Game of Thrones and Tolkien spin-off his live streams into another channel, and years later still doesn't get the numbers that he used to. Yeah, that's the thing, dude. I'm kind of glad that I separated it, though, honestly. I don't regret it. It's like, yeah, okay, like maybe on the other channel it got more views, and I feel like eventually we'll get the numbers over here as well. It just takes time, man, like anything. You got to be patient. So, yeah. Kit lenses are easily good enough for video. Yeah, exactly. This will be fine. I'll just be using this for the time being until I can afford to buy new lenses, you know. Subscribe. Thank you, mate. Mike Stewart is now Mao Jinping. I didn't know. Yep, he is, mate. What's the focal length of the lens, of this lens? I think it's 24 to 70. So no, it's not telephoto. No, it's definitely not telephoto. But it's good enough, you know, like, and it's got the camera's got very good autofocus as well. So yeah. Is it 24 to 70? Let me see. Yeah, it is, yeah. It's let me just get Mike's thing off. So yeah, look, it's 24 to 70, f4 as well, you know. So it's not bad. It's not a bad lens. Look. Hey, is that a camera in your pocket, or are you pleased to see me? It's a pretty good camera. So it's f4 as well. Yeah, it does. I mean, especially for me, right? I'm still like teetering on the edge of 100,000 subscribers on my Team Taiwan channel. You know, like I feel like I'm never gonna get to 100,000. But hey, that's life. You know, you just gotta be patient, and you just gotta go with it, and you know, do what works for you. And I feel like I've progressed like quite a long way in the last couple of years on YouTube. It's getting better. So it's just gotta persist and keep going and just don't give up, you know. But sometimes you do just want to give up. Please support Mike. Yes, we should. We should. Photography class in high school was a long time ago. I know, right? Ah, God, let me think. Yeah, I finished high school, or what we call secondary school, in 97. 97, and we didn't have photography class. I had to wait until I went to college to do photography. So yeah. We used stone tablets for film. Yeah, dude, like, I mean, when I did photography at college, um, yeah, man, the cameras that we used, like, it was like black and white film because that's all the college could afford for us to use. And we had to develop it ourselves in the chemicals, man. Like, I remember being in that dark room, but just the smell of it smelled like vinegar, vinegary smell, you know. Classic, classic. Good times though. Good times. And then I went to university and did a film studies degree. And look, I've got my diploma right here. There it is. Ta-da! Keep it on my desk just to remind me that, you know, like, if I put my mind to it, I can actually succeed at things. Yeah, dude. I think the Taiwan flag videos is a good way to support Taiwan. Um, it's fun too, you know, and like I just think it's probably the best way to get people to talk about Taiwan and to inform people about Taiwan on the streets here. I've tried different things, and the flag is always the best, I think. I had fun in the dark room. Nice. Yes, I think we all had fun in the dark room back in the day. Certified journalist. Yeah, I mean, kind of, right? Most people say university's a waste of time. Excuse me. Haven't been well since I got back from holiday. Um, yeah, but I mean, not really a certified journalist. Posers like me stick their certificates on the wall. I mean, dude, I've got mine in a frame. That's a poser if ever I've seen one, right? We didn't have photography or computers when I finished high school. Electric typewriters were a big deal. Whoa, dude. Man, I mean, I had computers, not in school actually. Wait, we did, but yeah, they were very basic. Taiwanese people are very supportive. Almost all the likes I got on X are from there. Yeah, I mean, they are. They are. And but I think they also can tell if somebody's like just in it for the money or whatever, you know, which I'm not, because if that was the case, I would have given up a long time ago because I don't make any money from it, really. Yes, I'm hoping to. I hope I do, man, because it's actually fun arguing with these guys. Parchment and quill pens. Camera is a rare thing that time. Yeah. I mean, I've always sort of I've been quite lucky, I guess, you know. When I was like 17, I had one of my friends gave me his like Sony camcorder, and it recorded onto like a tape. I can't remember the size. It was like a small tape. So I've always like had access to like video cameras and that kind of thing. And as I got older, I invested in a proper like camera to make videos with, and yeah, I've always been into making films and stuff. Like since I was at college. I've got lots of like video of me when I was younger. Maybe one day I'll show you guys if you want to see it. But I actually even made a couple of stupid films when I was at college. Maybe if you're interested, I can post them somewhere and you can have a look at them because they're quite amusing. But yeah, maybe no, it wasn't mini DV. It was even before mini DV, that camera that I had. But yeah, if you guys ever want to see it, like maybe I'll show you sometime of like this old footage of a young Lewis, a young punk Lewis. It's quite funny. Yeah, it might have been Hi8, I think. Yeah, it was probably Hi8. It was Sony. But yeah, man, like I've still got like loads of the cassette tapes. I just don't have the camera because unfortunately it broke a very, very long time ago. But yeah, good times, good times. Yes, it is. It's good to see. Taiwan #1. All right, guys. I think that I'm gonna go now. Yeah, I think it's time. But yeah, thank you so much for watching as usual. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go and play some. Look at this. What a loser. I got my Mario Kart World. My Mario Kart World controller. I'm gonna go and play some Mario Kart with my Mario Kart controller. What a loser. Cool. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next week. Usual time, every Monday at 8:00 p.m. we will cross China's red line. See you guys in the next one.